Breaking was the latest scene. News so fresh as never been.
All right, so today's deep dive is a little different. We are going to be looking at Steve Harvey news, but, and this is a big but, there's a twist. We're not just looking at the news itself. We're going to figure out how this reflects like a much bigger problem on the internet. So you sent in some sources, and they're all about Steve Harvey, but I'll be honest with you, I was a little confused. Some of these headlines, they didn't really seem to like match up.
Was that right? Well, I actually heard through the grapevine that some of these headlines, let's just say they were a little creative with their wording.
Yeah, you could say that. Okay, so like, check this out. This is an actual headline. Hollywood reports very sad news about Steve Harvey. He is confirmed as, I mean, come on, that's intense, right? Talk about dramatic.
Oh, they definitely know how to write a headline to grab your attention. It's classic clickbait. Promise something juicy, even if the article is, well, a little less exciting.
Okay, and it gets better. This headline is from a website called, are you ready for this? thepene.site. I don't know about you, but that doesn't exactly scream reliable news source to me.
Yeah, I have to say, that doesn't exactly inspire confidence, does it? But wait, there's more. The article itself, well, doesn't actually have any sad news about Steve Harvey.
Hold on, are you serious? So what is it, like a slow day in Hollywood, so they just decided to make something up?
Well, it starts out as like this kind of a weird biography of Steve Harvey, actually, but then, get this, halfway through, it just switches gears. It's all about Tyler Perry.
You've got to be kidding me. So it's not even a real article. That is hilarious and a little bit sad at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the thing about clickbait these days. It isn't just about getting you to click. It's almost like they're trying to mess with your emotions. You know those dramatic headlines, they make us worry that we're missing out on something big or make us concerned about someone we like, so we click without really thinking.
You know, I have to admit, when I first saw that headline, like, my heart skipped a beat. I was worried. But then, to find out, it's just a bunch of, nonsense. It's like, I don't know, opening a birthday present and finding packing peanuts.
And think about all the people who see that headline, freak out for a second, and then share it without even reading it. It's like the perfect example is how fast misinformation can spread online.
You are so right. All right, so the first article, total bust, what a surprise, but you've got another source for us, right? One that can actually tell us what's going on with Steve Harvey.
I do, and this one, well, let me tell you, it is a breath of fresh air.
Okay, good, because for a minute there, I was actually getting a little worried. All right, hit me with it. What's the source?
So this one is called texte collé. Any guesses what that means?
Texte collé.
It sounds French, right? Wait, does that mean like pasted text?
You got it. It's French for pasted text.
Oh.
A little strange for an article title, maybe, but hey, at least it's accurate.
Okay, touche. So what does texte collé have to say about Steve Harvey? Okay, so get this. It just comes right out and says it. Steve Harvey is doing just fine.
Oh, thank goodness. Seriously, that's such a relief.
All right.
But like, how do these rumors even start? It's crazy.
You know, it really is like a weird internet mystery, isn't it?
It's true.
Think about it. Social media, random websites, information spreads so fast now, it's like, who even knows what's true anymore?
It's like that game, telephone, where you whisper something, but like, with the entire internet, 1 minute it's a weird headline, the next minute everyone thinks Elvis is back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of scary part about the internet. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We are always online, and there is just so much information all the time. It's easy to just forget to check if something is actually real.
Especially when it's about someone famous, someone everyone loves, like Steve Harvey. People are going to be upset, concerned when they see something like that.
Right, exactly. And those are the exact emotions. These clickbait articles, these hoaxes, they use that. When we're emotional, we don't always think as clearly. So we just hit that share button without a second thought.
It's like our brains just shut down for a second, We see something shocking and we react without really thinking about it.
Yep. And then once it's out there online, it's basically impossible to get it back. Which actually reminds me, there's another interesting thing about this whole Steve Harvey thing. This isn't even the first time he's been the victim of a death hoax.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, this has happened to him before.
You would think by now, with how easy it is to check things online, people would know better.
You'd think, right?
Right.
But it just keeps happening. It's like the internet never learns.
That's true.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jackie Chan, even Betty White, they've all been victims of these hoaxes.
Wow, that's crazy. It almost makes you laugh, except it's not funny, It's really taking advantage of people. So, like, how can we be better at spotting this stuff online? What can we do?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we have to treat every headline, every article, every post, even if it looks official, with a little bit of doubt. Like, don't just believe it immediately, especially if it seems like really dramatic or unbelievable. Just take a second and ask yourself, okay, where is this information coming from? Is this a reliable source?
So basically, be a little bit suspicious of everything.
That's a great way to put it.
I like it.
Because on the internet, anyone can say anything.
Yeah.
So it's super important to not just believe everything you see and be able to think for yourself.
So I guess the moral of the story today is don't believe everything you read on the internet, huh?
It really is, isn't it?
Who knew?
It's kind of crazy how 1 minute we're worried about Steve Harvey and the next minute we are talking about like the meaning of truth online.
It's a wild world out there, but like, how can we actually be better at this? Because you're right, there's so much information out there, it's impossible to know where to even start.
Well, I think a good place to start is by remembering that just because something is published, like in an article like we saw, it doesn't mean it's true. We can't just assume that everything we read online has been checked and verified.
That's a good point. I think a lot of us, we still have that like instinct to trust what's written down. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Like we were saying before, anyone can basically publish anything online now.
True.
So you can't just assume because you see it on a website that it's automatically true.
All right. So how do we change that? How do we break that habit?
Well, we have to be a bit more proactive, We can't just accept information, especially if it seems like really shocking or too good to be true, without like checking it out a little first.
So like, what are we supposed to do? Become private investigators every time we read a headline?
Well, no, not exactly, but you're on the right track.
Oh, okay, I can work with that.
It's all about being a little skeptical, Question things. Don't be afraid to do a little research yourself.
I like it. Be our own fact checkers. So what does that look like, practically speaking? Like, give me some tips.
Okay, so like, let's say you see an article with a crazy headline, right?
Like the Steve Harvey one.
Exactly. First thing, don't just read the headline. Look at the website itself. Does it seem legit? Is it a source you've heard of before? Have they been around for a while?
Okay, so like, check their track record. Got it.
Yep. And if you're still not sure, do a quick search. See if other reputable sources are saying the same thing. A little cross-referencing goes a long way.
And if something still seems fishy, even after all that,
trust your gut. If your intuition is telling you something's not right, it probably isn't.
So bottom line, in the age of the internet, we've all got to become a little more
Sherlock Holmes, yeah.
Exactly. A little less scrolling, a little more sleuthing. It's all about being informed, thinking critically, and not letting ourselves get swept up in the whirlwind of information overload. I love it. All right, folks, there you have it. Another deep dive in the books. Until next time.